Attention, Commanders Nation. Today, we've got a bombshell that's going to shake up your football world. Are you ready for what's coming? Because this isn't just any update, it's the kind of news that's about to change the team's lineup. What happens when one of our most promising linemen returns from an injury that almost knocked him out for the season? Get ready to find out how this rookie could become the spark our team needs to keep winning. Stick around until the end, because I guarantee you won't want to miss a single detail. But that's not all. The situation at quarterback is heating up. Our young star QB isn't in the best shape, and time is running out. The matchup everyone's been waiting for could be on the line. Could our backup QB be stepping up to face the #1 draft pick? This is a showdown that might define our season. Don't move, because the outcome is still in the air. And lastly, something nobody saw coming. A first-round pick has been cut. Yeah, you heard it right. A surprise move that leaves a hole in the defense. What does this mean for our defensive line? And who's going to fill that spot? All of this and more in this video. So if you want to stay up to date on every move, subscribe now and hit like. Let's go, Commanders! This is just getting started. Look, we've got Jordan Magee back, and I'm telling you, this is news that a lot of people have been waiting for. After a preseason where he showed his potential, an unfortunate hit sidelined him with a meniscus surgery. Do you really think this kid wasn't going to come back stronger? Of course not. Jordan Magee is back, ready to make his NFL debut against none other than the Chicago Bears. And now I ask you, are we ready to see this rookie in action? I'll say this, Washington's decision to release Jamin Davis without immediately filling his spot on the roster was already hinting at what was to come. And what happened? Exactly what we expected. They activated Magee. And this isn't just any activation. This rookie was supposed to be a key piece from the start. And while that injury set him back, it doesn't mean his impact on the team will be any less. Think about this. How does Magee fit into this defense now? With Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner already established as starters, one might wonder how that rotation will play out. And I'll tell you, with Magee, we have a chance to see speed and versatility at that position. Exactly what we needed. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Magee is coming in to take Louvu or Wagner's spot, but I can assure you that the coaching staff will use him in a way that's going to surprise a few people. He wouldn't be here if he wasn't ready to make some noise. Now, let's talk about timing. Magee is coming back just when the team needs him the most. After Jamin Davis's exit, there was a hole that needed to be filled. And while it wasn't a surprise that Washington took its time with this decision, I believe this move sends a clear message. Washington trusts its young talent, and Magee is the perfect example of that. Do you realize the pressure this puts on him? Do you think Magee doesn't feel the weight of responsibility on his shoulders? I believe he does. And because of that, I'm convinced he's going to give it his all this Sunday against the Bears. Let's be real. This kid is going up against the Chicago offense in his debut. How many of you are excited to see him in action? I know I am. We saw him during the offseason, and we know he has the skills to get the job done. The question now is, how will he handle the pressure of his first NFL game? Can he prove what we all expect from him? Now, I can't finish without saying this. Washington's defense is at a crossroads. We need results, we need big plays, and I believe Magee can be that spark that ignites the flame. But the question I have for you fans is, do you think Magee is ready to be a key player on this defense from day one? Let me know in the comments, because I want to hear what you think. Jaden Daniels misses Wednesday's practice. What's going on with our QB? Well, I'm asking myself, is this a sign of bigger problems for the Commanders? I'll tell you this, Daniels has a rib injury. Yeah, guys, our star QB, the one who's been lighting it up with a 75.6% completion rate and 6 touchdowns, got hurt on the very first damn snap against the Panthers, and he kept playing. What kind of warrior is this guy? Now I ask you, is Coach Quinn being smart by letting him rest, or should he be preparing Daniels to face Caleb Williams and the Bears? Let's get straight to it. This isn't just any decision. Dan Quinn has said that Daniels is close to getting back on the field, but what worries me is this. How close is he really? This isn't just about being physically okay. No, folks. I think we're talking about how well Daniels can perform at 100% of his capabilities. Quinn knows this, which is why he's being cautious. And sure, you might tell me Mariota is ready to step in, but come on. We know Mariota is a solid backup, but he's not Daniels. Now think about this with me. Mariota is getting ready to possibly start against the Bears. The Bears. And not just any Bears, no. We're talking about Caleb Williams' team, the #1 overall pick in the draft. Do you want me to be honest? I don't think Quinn has any reason to risk Daniels, no matter how much we want to see him take down Williams. The kid has a future, and we need him long term. But let's get back to the important question. Is it really safe to keep Daniels out longer, or are we being too cautious? I'll tell you this, if Daniels feels good on Friday, I'd put him in on Sunday. Nothing excites me more than a showdown between young QBs who have a fierce hunger to prove who's the best. And while Quinn says there's no extra motivation, who are they kidding? Of course there is. This matchup between Daniels and Williams is something we're all looking forward to. But there's more at stake here. If Daniels doesn't play, Mariota will have to prove he can keep the Commanders on top. So far, he's been solid, with a 73.1% completion rate, but this next game won't be easy. The Bears aren't just any team, and Williams will want to show why he was the #1 pick. Can Mariota really handle that pressure? I'll tell you this, if the Commanders win this game, it'll be because Mariota stays calm under that pressure and the defense does its job. Now I ask you, what would you do if you were Dan Quinn? Would you put Daniels in even if he's not at 100%, or trust Mariota to lead the team? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Well. The Washington Commanders didn't hesitate and got rid of Jamin Davis. Yeah, folks, the same Davis who was the first-round draft pick in 2021. And now I'm asking myself, is this the right call for the team? I'll tell you this, Davis had his potential. Of course he did. A guy with 282 tackles, 7 sacks, and 21 tackles for loss in 50 games. That's no small feat. But what happened? Why did Dan Quinn decide to let him go? Here's where my opinion comes in, guys. And I know some of you will agree, and others won't. Davis was moved from linebacker to defensive end this season, a switch that, in my view, never quite fit. Sometimes a player just doesn't adapt to a new position. And that, my friends, is exactly what I think happened here. Why not keep him in his natural position? That's a question I keep asking myself. Now, with his departure, the team frees up a spot on the active roster, and one wonders what Quinn's next move will be. Letting go of a player like Davis isn't something you do without having a plan in mind. And speaking of moves, we also have to mention Sheldrick Redwine leaving the practice squad. What intrigues me here is, are we strengthening the defense or just patching holes? I want to know what you think, because, honestly, with these decisions, it seems like the team is aggressively reorganizing. Is this what we need? A total shakeup? I think so, but at the same time I wonder, how much sacrifice are we willing to make this season to improve? Now let's talk about Kevon Seymour's suspension, 6 games out for violating the substance policy. This is a hit the team really didn't need right now. How does this impact the team's secondary? I'll tell you this, the defense was already dealing with several issues, and losing Seymour for 6 weeks just adds more fuel to the fire. Now folks, I'm wondering, how are we going to manage this? The season keeps moving forward, and we can't afford for the defense to crumble completely. And keep an eye on the active roster additions, Ben Nickel and Michael Strachan. 2 players promoted from the practice squad who, to be honest, aren't making much noise right now. But I'll tell you something. In this league, I've seen cases where players that nobody had on their radar ended up being key contributors. Now I ask you fans, do you think Nickel or Strachan have what it takes to make a mark on this team? With everything going on, the defense is being restructured, and now it's time for Jordan Magee. This rookie, who's been on the injured list, has his 21-day window to return. This is where things get interesting. Is Magee going to be the guy to fill the void left by Davis? I have my doubts, but I trust Dan Quinn knows what he's doing with these moves. Commanders fans, the question is clear. Do you think Magee is ready to take on a key role in our defense from day one? This is an important move. I want to hear your thoughts, so drop your comments below. Don't hold back, your voices matter. Now, if you were in Dan Quinn's shoes, would you take a risk with Daniels, even if he's not at 100%? Or would you trust Mariota to lead the team? Tell me in the comments what decision you would make, because every opinion counts. Finally, do you think Magee really has what it takes to fill the void left by Davis in the defense? This could define our season. I want to know what you think. Don't forget to be part of this family by subscribing to the channel. Here, we're all part of the Washington Commanders community. And remember, hail to the Redskins.